Hey there, kids. So today we're gonna be making some lamb. We're gonna make short lamb with date sauce, and here's all the ingredients you need: onions, 2 carrots, 1 parsnip peeled and also washed and cut. Got 4 dates. There's more than 4 there. You can tell. There's a knife, a gigantic chunk of lamb leg, big boy. You also have extra virgin olive oil. Don't need that really. You got whole peppercorns, salt, olive oil, big old bunny boy, and goat milk. Evidence. Disregard the soy sauce. I'm gonna use that substitute for fish sauce for some reason. So what you're gonna do first is you're gonna need to put just a little bit of a little bit. How much is that? Yes, about 1/4 cup on top of it. Then you have to cut that lining off for the rest for a bit. Then have it boil in that crock pot over there. Disregard. We're not using the ketchup. The ketchup is useless to society, so we're not using it. But we're going to be cooking this big old crock pot. It's already clean, so don't worry about the top. Okay, so after you place it on a nice bed of vegetables, you're going to have to put it onto medium heat and have to wait for 3 hours. But in the meantime, I'm going to make the sauce when it comes like half an hour, just so the process doesn't take such a killing time. But until then, I'll be there. So after your meat's been sitting there for about like 3 hours, you're going to have to make this little sauce right here. You're going to have to make sure you pound the peppercorns. I did an okay job at that. Then you have to add some whole peppercorns and ground peppercorns. Just add like about, good amount of milk, 130 milliliters I believe, or 150 milliliters of goat milk, or cow milk if you have it. That is my boy cooking up. I'm whisking it, just make sure it's good. Just to have like 40 grams of honey. Make sure it's well mixed. You also have to add some Alfonso powder and some salt. I use corn flour as a substitute, just to get the right amount of thickness. Because, you know, the powder's hard to come by. Over here, I'm gonna have to mix up my 4 dates and make sure they're all nice and smooth in my food processor boy. Excuse me. Add the remainder of my olive oil and my honey to it. But before I do that, while the sauce is resting, it's not time yet, but after that, there's my good lamb boy, made all lamby and stuff. That has my soy sauce substitute, my vegetables as its bed, and also has a bit of seasonings of my own like taste to it, just add flavor. So after various vigorous, loud blending sounds are made, you get this concoction of sauce boy. And it's actually almost time for me to finally put those 2 sauces together, mix them up, add some wine, which is this classic wine right here. Anywho, I'm going to mix these sauces together, have them all blend together, and I'm going to drain out my lamb now. So you mix that sauce, then the other sauce is dates, also has honey, olive oil, as I stated before. This is your white wine. Make sure your parents buy it for you if you have a shady dealer. And just for good measures, just add a little bit more. That may have been just too much. Don't worry, it all dies out in cooking. But, you know, you just gotta mix it all up, have it all blend together. You also gotta add the meat juices into there, which I did not do. This has a very weird smell to it. It's like a sweet, savory type of smell, since, well, I have to use sort of soy sauce essence. I hope that pairs well with the seasonings on the meat. If not, don't worry, one heck of a trip, kids. Move out the way. Have it all blend together. So anyways, how was your day? You don't need to tell me. So this took me 4 hours. I want to go to bed. I'm going to try some of the meat though, make sure it tastes good, and if it doesn't, I'm going to burn this entire project down to the ground and plead Mr. Wetzel to keep my grade above a 2. One thing that you should add is that corn. Okay, too much corn, boy. Good amount. This is just an estimate. Don't hold me to my words. That may have been too much. But we have to make this a nice, thick, creamy sauce, just to make sure it pairs well with everything. Okay, so the sauce is now finally thickened to a nice, good, thick consistency. At least good enough for me. Add the sauces blend together. Needs a little more salt for taste. Do 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 do. Wait, we gotta watch the pour. And that's what I live for. Literally, that moment was what I lived for. And that has been a conclusion to Tariq's World, cooking in the kitchen with Jord. Deuces!
My name is Jordan Israel, and today we're going to be making spring cabbage with cumin. So here are the ingredients. We have here the spring cabbage, which has just been washed and the water is draining out, about 500 grams of it. Here we have olive oil. This is the cumin powder, used as a replacement for cumin seeds. Here is the white wine. This is the fish sauce. Salt could also be used as an alternative. And here is the ground black pepper. And in here we have the leek and coriander, which will end up being steamed here in the microwave. So first we are going to put the olive oil into a pan or a pot. We'll let that settle. We'll let the oil heat over for a bit. Then we'll add the cabbage. So we've now placed the cabbage into the pan. So we're going to let it settle in there for a couple of minutes. Place the lid over it. Now just have it steam in there for a bit. Once you've let the cabbage cook in the pot for a bit, you just stir it a bit. This is the third time I'm stirring it, just giving it a thorough stirring. It's the best I could do on camera. Alright, but once you got your cabbage like this, you're gonna want to start adding some spices. So we got the cumin spice, right? We want to just add that in. Get some spices in there, alright? Alright, so the spice is nice and mixed in there. The cabbage has a nice aroma now, so we're going to put in the white wine. Romans like to put white wine in their meals. Just a splash in there. Alright. I gotta say, now it kind of smells like fermented bread, like bread if you just leave it out for too long and it gets stale. I don't know. Alright, now we're going to put the fish sauce in. Just a little bit, don't want to overdo it. Just warmed up the leek and coriander, so we're going to put that in there. Alright, so I mixed in the leek and the coriander, and now that's how the cabbage looks. So the final ingredient is just some black pepper to spice it up. We're going to mix that in. Alright, we've put in the ground black pepper, and that basically concludes the recipe for the spring cabbage with cumin. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and good day.